everybody. Hi, we're back. Okay, this is the third grade remote science lab lesson 3. This is the patterns of swing motion lesson, and hopefully you just got all your materials together and you built a little swing. So now you're ready to make it swing. All right, so here is the actual official Twig lesson. I'll kind of talk about it at first, like as if we were at school, and then you'll have plenty of time, of course, to work on this, because you can take as much time as you want. So first thing to consider is to make sure that we're all thinking about what's a model, right? So you're making a model of a swing. This is not an exact swing. It's not exactly like the ones you'd find at a park, but it definitely has some things about it that are very, very similar to one that you'd find at a park. And there are, of course, some major differences. Why do people use models though? One main reason is right here, to find out how something will look and work before building it life size. So remember, you are supposedly planning your ultimate playground, right? So the idea is that you probably want to have a swing in it. So let's play around with swings a little bit to make sure that we know whatever there is to find out about swings. So in this activity, you are going to be making a 2-rope swing like you see here, unless you need to change that. And maybe all you could find was a belt or something. I don't know what this is. Is there an orange belt? I don't know. Maybe it's a dog collar. I have no idea. But anyway, so this could certainly be a swing. Or like I had this leash before, that could certainly be a swing as well. It does not have to have 2 straps. It could just be a 1-rope swing. So whatever works for you, it's going to be fine. Just have something that'll go back and forth. That's all you need. So you made your swing. Hopefully it's hanging there on your table somewhere or off a chair somewhere where you can have access to it. So now, what we are doing, the whole purpose of this is that you are supposed to think about those questions that pop in your head. You know, whenever you play around with something like your swing, you should have some things popping in your head. Most likely you can't even control it, right? Those questions of, ooh, I wonder what would happen if, ooh, maybe I should try, ooh, what if I, yeah, those things, those thoughts, that's what you're going to investigate today. So yes, please have those thoughts. And today you do have permission to do it. You don't have to wait for teacher approval because your parents are there, I'm hoping. And your parents hopefully have an eye and an ear on you to make sure that you're not doing something crazy like, hey, don't worry if the dog starts barking incessantly right now. I'm just trying to make the dog go on my swing. Yeah, that might not be the best idea. So don't do that. But maybe, I don't know, will the swing hold my shoe? I don't know. That's the kind of thing you might try. At any rate, there are some suggestions right here that says what happens when we pull the swing back different distances and then let go. Is that going to change the way the swing works? That might be something to consider. Or what if you're pushing the swing, right? Imagine that there's something on the swing, or even go grab a stuffed animal, or you know what, a sock, like just a balled up sock, that might work as your animal or your person on the swing, and see what happens. You know, when you give the swing a bigger push or a smaller push, what do you notice? Now, these are on this little table here. These are some questions that you might come up with, but yours do not have to be these. It's just, you know, a suggestion. The thing that we're investigating is what happens when you pull the swing back different distances and then let it go. So if that's the question that you are investigating, these are the kinds of things you might look for. Like, does that make the swing move a different distance? If that's something that you wanted to investigate though, where'd I put it? My ruler. Well, I can't find my ruler now, but I've got my handy dandy weird little Post-it note fake ruler thingy, right? So this is the kind of thing that you would need something to measure with, right? So that way you can measure, ooh, it went 4 Post-it notes, or this time it only went 2 Post-it notes, or whatever. Does the height the swing reaches change? And again, you need something to measure with. Does the time the swing takes to go back and forth change? Now that's actually something kind of interesting. It's called a bob. When a swing or a pendulum goes up and back, that's called 1 bob. Or you can also call it a period. The amount of time that it takes for 1 bob to happen is a period. So maybe you can notice. And there's kind of a cool suggestion here. Like, can you predict how long it will take the swing to go back and forth 2 times? And then see what'll happen if you do it back and forth 4 times. Do you think there might be a pattern to that? That's exactly what we're investigating, right? Yes, try it, see. The whole purpose of this activity is to see, can you predict motion based on some observations that you make. So your job right now is to make the observations and see what kinds of things you can predict. Let your mind take you wherever your interest is with this. Hopefully you will have a little bit of fun with it and try a bunch of different things. Once you have gotten into it and you have your investigation, I just wanted you to see this is what your Twig book will look like. So if you actually have your Twig book, you can fill it out on page 56. This is what you want to do before you actually get into doing all your investigations. I just wanted you to have that practice of thinking through and planning through and coming up with your plan, your idea for what you're going to do, what you're going to change, what you're going to look for, as in, do you think that change, like maybe the change is how high we pull the swing back. So what do you think that's going to affect? Do you think that might change how long the swing continues to swing until finally it stops? Well, if so, how are you going to do that? How are you going to look for that? Are you going to have a watch? Are you going to time it, see how fast it goes, how long it takes until it finally stops? Are you going to see how high it goes, in which case you'd need a ruler? So you just want to think it through. What will happen when you do whatever you want to do? What are you going to change? What are you going to be looking for and measuring and noticing? And then how will you make the test fair? Now, do you want to know a secret? Here's the answer for this last question. How do you make the test fair? You simply do everything else exactly the same. So if you decide that what you wanted to do is to see what'll happen if you pull the swing back higher, like here's my little swing. If I pull it back higher and higher, or not so high, and let go and see what happens, well, how do you make it fair? Well, you make it fair by keeping it the same length the whole time, right? You're not going to be taking it off your table and then retaping it a different length. Look, now it's super long. Now it's super short. Wait, unless that's what you wanted to test, right? What happens if you have it swing longer, longer, longer? See, there's all kinds of things you could do with this. Kind of exciting. Now, once you do these planning questions here on page 56, then voila, you go to page 57, and here is your place to make observations. Now, you're probably going to do like 75 different tests. Just write down 3. And again, you're sort of cheating a little bit here because it's okay if you don't even do complete sentences. Just do jotting down notes. What did you do? I made it higher. What did you see? It went more. Okay, that makes no sense, but actually have it make some sense. But see, have some fun with it. You don't have to stress out so much about the writing part. Now, tip, you will have to answer one of those questions, though, on the Google form at the end of this all. So you do want to have at least one good answer that you could do. What did you do and what did you see? So make sure that you at least have something good to say about that. And I would also recommend that the things you write down should be the ones that fit with this last question down here, which is, what patterns did you see? If, as you were working, you were noticing, you know what, I keep doing this, but I don't see a pattern. The same thing doesn't keep happening all the time. Okay, don't use that as an example then. Keep doing things until you do see a pattern. What is it that you have to do in order to see a pattern? Because, again, that's our whole purpose. Our purpose is to see if you can predict the motion of an object by making some observations about it. So when you're done with all of that, let me show you back on the document here. So these are your instructions, your assignment instructions. You've already watched the introductory video. That was when you gathered your materials. You're now watching the instructional video, and now you are about to do the activity. I've reminded you here about doing the 2 pages in the Twig book, and I even cut and pasted them there for you so you could see what they look like. If you don't have your Twig book, you could certainly use these as a guideline. If you have a notebook that you're using for your science work, you can just write it in your notebook. Then, fill out the Google form to tell me what you did. The Google form is really simple. It's right here. What's your name and teacher? What materials did you use for your swing? For one of your tests, record your results in the next 2 questions here. So in other words, I didn't have a space in one question to do the what did you do and the what happened. So I have it in 2 different questions. So hopefully that won't be confusing. So what did you do? What happened? And then the next 2 questions also go together. And it is thinking about what happened in your experiment, fill in the blanks. When I blank, the swing always blank. But The first question is the when I blank. So fill that in here. The blank right here is going to fill in here. When I do what? And then continued. When I, the answer above, whatever you wrote up there, this swing always blank. In other words, this one up here is the cause, and this one down here is the effect. When I did what to cause something, the effect was that this always happened. Okay, at the end, I always like this question. Anything else to tell me? Whatever, tell me anything. Doesn't matter, doesn't have to be about this activity. I'm just curious because I do miss you guys. So I hope that you are well. I hope everybody is doing the best that you can with this weird situation that we have. And I can't wait until we can actually be together again. Maybe not till 4th grade, but hey, at least we have that to look forward to, right? So keep on doing your science work as much as possible. I know you love science, so keep it up and let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Have a good time. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hi, what did I do wrong? Why isn't this working? What did I do? So is this showing picture in picture now? I don't know. What did I do? There, can you see this? Okay, this is awesome. Okay, bye.